Welcome to 208 Fernwood, Montclair, New Jersey, on the coldest day of the year, December 13th, 2017, 20 degrees, give or take, and windy. This is 208 Fernwood, where I, my daughter, and my wife lived since 1986. That is 31 years ago. I just sold it. I'm cleaning it out. I've fully cleaned out the inside, and I've asked my friend Jurgen to film this clip of good old memories that the place brings to me. We'll head inside now. This is the famous foyer. All of the wood was painted white when we bought the house in '86, so our first task was to strip it. Constance started the process, realized she couldn't carry it out. We got two good stripper guys from Montclair. One later became the drama teacher at Montclair High School. Another one became a military historian. They played classical music as they stripped. So it was quite a striptease. And they did a fantastic job. The wood is southern, it's cypress. It's not southern cypress, it's not Pecky cypress. It's the type of cypress that died at the turn of the last century. It is almost like pine in terms of its staining. It's a very, very warm feeling to the color that we have. This is where we usually had the Christmas tree, right there.
Brightly shining, it is the light of our dear Savior birth.
Moving into the dining room. There are pocket doors right here. We rarely have them closed, but they are there. This was originally the parlor for the house. What is now the living room was originally the dining room. Parlors in those days were quite small, as you can tell. Intimate. You didn't have to heat as much space that way. We're now going into the dining room. Leaving the old dining room, I should say, the new living room. The old dining room ended where you see the drop ceiling. Story to tell there. Many years ago, I was walking the dog. I was coming back to the house and saw this car pulled up to the house very slowly and it looked suspicious. So I went up to it, asked him, could I help? Turns out he was a child of the second owner from the 20s and 30s up to the early 40s. And he said when he lived here, the old dining room was the old dining room, the old parlor was the old parlor. And after they sold it, people, there was a retaining wall there where the drop ceiling is. And there was a pantry behind it that connected up to the kitchen. And there was a porch off the back on the right. And they took out the wall, and lo and behold, the tub started to sink. So they had to reinforce it. But they were able to open it up and make it into a more practical living room. We had all arts and crafts furniture in the house, not appropriate to the house itself. This house would have been a little earlier, a little more Victorian, or as I like to say, Edwardian, which is sort of Victorian without the frou-frou. High ceilings, big windows, a lot of woodwork. We had a sofa sitting over there. Constance loved to sit out and watch the doings and the trees and the animals. One reason we bought the house was it had such a bright and light feeling about it. Great window space, great light. We ended up having to put some of the furniture in front of the windows, however, because there wasn't otherwise much wall space. Going back into the foyer. Going to now.
I want to know what century this is. 21st century.
Going to now enter into the kitchen. This one, we bought it, was an 1850s-esque kitchen. We left all of the woodwork, just painting it. But the interesting thing which we did was we leveled the floors between this room, what was a back porch right behind the photographer, what was a really gross little bathroom entered where the refrigerator now is. All the levels were different, so we had to level up the floors. The other interesting thing is we picked out floor tile, and it took a while to make a choice. But when the people came in to rip up the old floor, they found evidence of the original floor tiling when the house was built or very early on. It was a smaller pattern, but interestingly, pretty much the same colors. So I guess we got the vibes from the good old guys. Other interesting thing about the kitchen was when we moved in, this back staircase was closed off right here. There was the range was, the oven was right there. And the refrigerator was right here. So you saw when you came in the side of the refrigerator, pretty ugly view. And as I said, that was the door to the back bathroom. We shifted everything 90 degrees, opening up the back staircase, so it's now accessible. Don't use it very often, but it's good to have. The cool thing was when we first bought the house, upstairs, you wouldn't have known there was a back staircase. As I said, it was blocked from down here, you didn't see into it. Upstairs, there was a false floor, which you could lift up, and then you could see the stairs. So the stairs were never taken out. And we could stash stuff, if we were going away, stash the valuables under the sink, under the stairs. So that was quite cool. We upgraded this back bathroom, put in wainscoting, made it very period appropriate. Moving on. We're going up to the second floor through the staircase originally painted white, now wood. This staircase goes all the way up to the third floor, which is quite unique in Victorian homes. Usually the staircase to the third floor was a back staircase and not as ornate as this one is. We have 4 bedrooms on this floor. The one to my left was used as the guest bedroom. The one behind that, again to my left, was the master bedroom. We think there was a fireplace here because there's a fireplace below it, which was never working when we were here. A very interesting, I'll point out when we get down there, a very ornate fireplace. This room we used as the TV room.
He hasn't moved 103 and, oh, he won 9 in Alabama. That's what it was. Okay.
How come the keys growing
You won Alabama,
isn't?
He's picking up southern votes. Mm-hmm. So Hagen won in North Carolina.
Yeah.
All right.
TV in this corner. We used the fireplace maybe once, maybe twice. I forgot to open up the flue one day when Sarah and a friend of hers were having a sleepover in this room. Smoke billows out. That was the last time we used it. So that is a working fireplace. We never, I think once we used the fireplace below it. The bathroom, again, is here, sort of a 1920s bathroom. The big conjecture, Constance was insistent that there probably was an outhouse when the house was built in 1900, maybe a little earlier. And a lot of the bathrooms you find in Victorian homes do have this sort of 1920s look, indicating either there was a major push to upgrade bathrooms then or put them in then. We have the back staircase coming up here. This was originally Sarah's room as a baby, and eventually she moved up to the 3rd floor. It then became the exercise room with my spare closet. And then, after Constance passed, it became my workroom for my book and ephemera collections. Good thing we're taking the tour. I just discovered something I left behind. This is the back bathroom. Unique in that it has a separate water closet and separate tub and sink. Again, was this originally here? We don't know. The transom and the door are turn of the century, so that this was probably something, but maybe it was a small bath, maybe it was the bath you see now. The door rounding here, that looks period, so there's obviously something back here at the time. Yep. Going up to the 3rd floor. We're in the half turret now, a nice architectural feature. There's a semi-stained glass window here. Since the day we moved in, it was cracked from the bottom, so those cracks have survived 30 some odd years, but hopefully the new owners will get around to fixing them. This floor is one of the more unique setups of the house. Constance used this room to my left as her office. She used the room to my right as her closet. And then this was, the 3rd room was the au pair's room, and then eventually became Sarah's bedroom. It's a very cheerful room here. When the original owner, not the second owners lived here, they had a maid who was actually the sister of a person who was relatively successful. She was from Germany, and her brother kept saying, "You know, come, you don't need to work as a maid, you don't need to work as an au pair, come into the city." And she said, "No, I like it out here." In part maybe because she was away from him, but she had a nice room here. She had a swing hanging down from the ceiling, I'm told. He would come, send her a limo, and she'd go into the city on the weekends. So appropriately, this became the au pair's room. This was Constance's office, and my American book collection was over there. Her desk was to the left of me. One day she said, by the way, if you're not a fan of my book collecting, one day she said, "Oh, I'm going to go see what he has." And she went over and opened up a book, and she was so allergic to dust that that one book was enough. The dust flies. She said, "Oh, never again." So my collection was intact over there. So this was Constance's closet, literally filled to the gills with clothes. Every wall had a clothes rack, or a shoe rack, as Jürgen will testify to. Several hundred shoes, I swear. Many, many clothes, all fairly unique. She did have a fashion sense. That brings us to the end of the tour. Thank you.